So, a few days ago, we made a video talking about the New Jersey Devils and Jack Hughes and what exactly it would be that he is capable of accomplishing in 2022-2023. But I wanted to take our conversations a step below the National Hockey League level and focus still on some prospects the Devils have playing for the same team, potentially playing on the same pairing depending on how things go into the next few weeks, and whom Devils fans should be very excited for as well. The reason we're talking about this is because the University of Michigan Wolverines had just wrapped up their first weekend of NCAA play, and as such, they've got 2 games under the book, they've got themselves another week to go before the next series of games, and there are 2 Devils prospects on this squad that have shown off pretty well so far. Let's talk today about Jack Hughes' younger brother Luke Hughes, as well as former New Jersey Devils second-round pick in the 2022 NHL Entry Draft, Sheamus Casey. Both these guys are defensemen on Michigan, and both these guys have shown off very well in different ways the past few months. Let's go over what these 2 could accomplish together and why Devils fans should be excited heading into the next few years. Starting out with Luke Hughes, he's probably going to be playing his last season in the NCAA. I would be pretty shocked if Luke Hughes decided to play a junior season in collegiate hockey before coming over to New Jersey in 2023, sometime around then. But Luke Hughes was indeed the 4th overall pick in the 2021 draft. He was seen with a lot of hype because his 2 older brothers, Quinn and Jack Hughes of the Vancouver Canucks and the New Jersey Devils respectively, have been very good National Hockey League athletes. And for Luke Hughes and the way that he's been progressing ever since his rookie season in Michigan, wherein he scored himself 39 points in 41 games played, you could say that with all things considered, he is supposed to be very good as well. Luke plays a little bit like Quinn, but better defensively and a lot less turny. He doesn't spin like the washing machine cycling going back and forth like Quinn can usually do on the corners of the point. Luke Hughes is a lot more straight line, he's got more pace to his stride, and he's not afraid to go back and forth on the points, exposing open pockets of space and using his body to shield the puck. He's bigger than the other 2 Hughes brothers as well, which gives him an edge in puck protection, but combined with the skating, he's a very good skater, not as agile as Quinn, I would say, not as fast as Jack, but a good mix between the 2. He is supposed to be a very good player, and he had a very good amount of points last season, so heading into his sophomore year, we're definitely expecting a lot out of Luke Hughes, especially with the talent that is on the Michigan Wolverines this season. Luke Hughes so far has himself 1 point in the 2 games played that the Michigan Wolverines have had. They played 2 games against Lindenwood on Friday and Saturday, yesterday and the day beforehand. And to be fair, Lindenwood isn't really the best program. You've got yourself some pretty good schools coming up in the next few weeks. Boston University, later on it's Notre Dame, Minnesota. There's going to be competition to come as the weeks go on, but for Luke Hughes, he obviously dominated the NCAA last year. He was good for Team USA at the World Championships and at the World Juniors, so there's an expectation that he's going to go out there and absolutely take over the blue line, especially now that Owen Power is not there to hog up some of the top minutes. The assist that Luke had in his first point on the year was very nice. He took the puck at the top of the umbrella on the power play and sent it over to the right side for a one-timer by none other than Adam Fantilli. And if you've heard that name before, yeah, you probably should have. He's a guy that's going to be a top pick in the 2023 NHL Entry Draft. If there was no Connor Bedard, Mateychuk still wouldn't have had an easy, guaranteed time being number 1 because Adam Fantilli exists, and Fantilli went out there and scored his first ever NCAA goal assisted by Luke Hughes. Very good shot, good one-timer ability. He's a guy that I think honestly could have gone first overall last year, above Slafkovsky, had he been eligible. I mean, that's an argument for another day, but still. Michigan's got some good talent. Luke Hughes is setting up guys like Adam Fantilli, and you want to see these sorts of results coming out and manifesting themselves. But as we had talked about at the top, Luke Hughes is not the only Devils defenseman prospect that you should be excited for on this Michigan squad. Because in the second round of the 2022 NHL Entry Draft, the Devils took themselves a right-handed guy who actually did suit up on the first pairing a few exhibition games ago. It is Sheamus Casey. Casey is an interesting player for sure. He's 5'9", 161 as a right-handed D, 18 years old, drafted by New Jersey, 46th overall, and I get it, he's a small guy. He also happens to be right-handed. But if you go over what it is that makes Seamus Casey so great, you can see that he's a lot more akin to that Quinn Hughes sort of mold where he's a little spinny, a little agile, he makes some good reads, and he's able to bedazzle you out of your seat with his play on the blue line. Sure, he's not the perfect defender by any means, but this guy was ranked to go somewhere in the early 20s by some scouting outlets because of the talent he possesses. Of course, he's really small, so that's why he dropped. But for Seamus Casey, he's a Michigan Wolverine as well, and he's got himself 2 points in the 2 games that he has had. He had himself an assist in the first game of the season against Lindenwood, and then in the second game, he scored his first goal of the NCAA season. Picking up the puck on the right point, walking right in, dragging it, changing the angle, and sniping it up high, bar down on the goaltender. Seamus Casey, if you watch the Why I Want video made about him, he is an absolute dynamo player too. This is the scouting report on elite prospects from their draft guide on Seamus Casey. His technique as a puck handler is nearly perfect, and he's as comfortable on the forehand as he is on the backhand, as comfortable blending the first touch or pass reception into a dangle as he is a dangle into a pass or a shot. What the heck does that sentence mean? As comfortable blending the first touch or pass reception into a dangle as he is a dangle into a pass or a shot. Come on, elite prospects. Man, get your proofreading right. It's a real thing of beauty to watch the right shot defender when he's feeling it with the puck on his stick. Seamus Casey has a sky-high ceiling, and depending on how he's able to translate to higher levels of play, the skills that he has definitely will project him towards being an NHL caliber guy. It's just a question as to whether or not those skills will translate against tougher competition, against bigger, stronger, faster dudes, and if he maybe gets a growth spurt or two in there as well, it would be preferable if he wasn't 5'9", playing against NHL forwards, but still. If he's good enough at finding his way out of danger, which he has been very good at the past few seasons, we'll see where exactly that takes him. But for Seamus Casey, I really do see a guy that if you wanted to get a best-case scenario out of his profile, I mean, I see a top-4 defenseman, if everything goes right, who's able to get maybe 40 or 50 points on a season, manning the second, maybe even the top power play. This guy is so offensively created, he's skilled, he's spinny, he can navigate the ice with ease, especially with the puck on his stick. And I guess when you're thinking about long-term potential pairings of guys like Hughes and Casey together, I mean, screw Hamilton and screw Marino and all these other people. The Michigan boys, that's where it's at. Heading into the long-term future, give it, let's say, 3 or 4 years. Probably, I feel like that's enough of a timeline for a guy like Seamus Casey, for example, to get a few years in Michigan, maybe play a season or 2 in the AHL, and potentially become an NHL defender if everything goes right. Obviously, it's tough to project any guy who is a 5'9" right-handed defenseman because it's one of the most valuable positions in the entire sport, but still, this is a second-round pick that I honestly did feel in my heart of hearts could have been a first-round guy had you asked the right people. So, for Seamus Casey, him scoring some beautiful bar down goals, making some assists, 2 points in 2 games. Luke Hughes getting 1 point in 2 games played so far. Sure, Casey has more points, but I mean, it's only been 1 weekend. We'll see what the team does against better teams in the NCAA like Boston University. We'll see what they do against Penn State. This is going to be a very interesting season for New Jersey Devils fans, as the Michigan Wolverines pretty much have to become your second favorite team because of all the guys you have over there that are of pretty significant magnitude in your prospect system. So, talk to the comments your thoughts about Luke Hughes and Seamus Casey. What do you think the duo dynamic is going to be between these two guys, and how do you think they're going to project as NHL caliber defenders? For Luke Hughes, I could definitely see a first pairing guy that's maybe able to get 60, 70, 75, 80 points on an NHL season regularly if everything goes right. I mean, Quinn Hughes is already pretty much a 70-point caliber guy, and Luke has the potential to be even better maybe. So that's sort of where I see him. For Seamus Casey, I could definitely see a guy that maybe gets 50 points in a max year, and that's pretty good for a second-round pick. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about these two guys. I hope you enjoyed this Juraj 99, and bye.